Good morning, Laura here for Free Practice Friday. It is a foggy, kind of damp day. It sounds like it's raining, but I think it's actually just water dripping onto the trees or off of the trees because I'm not getting wet at all. It doesn't look like it's raining outside of the trees. But it is a beautiful fall morning. Happy fall. I think this is the first video since the solstice. And is it the solstice or the equinox? The equinox, I think. And I've been struggling with my phone. I really wish that I could make it turn around so that I could get my face on some of the video, but then also show you some of the beautiful sights around here. And I guess that's not possible on Android. I've seen people do it on Facebook, so maybe the Facebook, maybe that app allows you to turn it around. I also was reading that Instagram and Snapchat allow you to do that, but those are just 30-second videos, I think. And obviously this is going to be a little bit longer. So I want to talk today about the importance of relaxation in Qigong. Of course, Qigong itself is very relaxing. Qigong overall is very relaxing, but the type of Qigong that I practice, the first stage of it is actually getting into a meditative state. So rather than at the end of class, you being nice and relaxed and feeling really good, we get into this relaxed meditative state at the beginning, and that actually it gives you more bang for your buck. It makes for a more powerful session, so that when you're actually doing the Qigong exercises, you are already in this wonderful, blissful, Zen-like state. And so I brought us out here to watch the water flow by, kind of in the center, that little outlet that you can see of the water. And when there's more water, that actually there's a nice trickle. It comes down there and can sound quite wonderful. I'm not sure if the mic is picking up the sound at all, but there's some rocks right here. So that outlet, when there's a lot of rain in the spring and the spring thaw and then just the general rains in the spring, the water sometimes just comes tearing down the creek behind that, and you can hear the rocks actually tumbling down, and so the rocks end up getting put into the canal here, and depending on the height of the water, it's pretty low today. There's the little blockage there, so if you were boating, you'd have to go around it. It's not quite deep enough to boat. You could kayak in here. You could probably have a little flat bottom boat, but the rocks flow down, and it kind of changes the flow of the water. But it's nice because then you get this. You get the beautiful currents that are in there, so maybe that's something we can focus on. So the sound, the beautiful visuals. I have to say, this is an incredible place to live, to be able to experience all this. But so what we do, and we can try this now, so I decided to do this because you don't need to see my face to do this. So you can just listen to my voice, and if you want, you can watch the water on the screen. But we are going to get into a wonderful, relaxed state. In the Qigong that I practice, we call this entering Zen. And we start off all of our sessions with this. So if you want, you can get into a comfortable position. Generally, I teach Qigong standing up, but You can also do this sitting down. You can do any kind of Qigong, most kinds of Qigong, sitting down or lying down if you need to. Since we're just doing this, getting into this meditative state, you could actually do this sitting on the floor if you wanted to, on a meditation cushion, if that works for you, or you can do it standing. If you're sitting on a chair, you want to be sitting toward the front of the chair. You're going to be sitting up relatively straight, not stiff or rigid, but you want your spine to be straight. You're not leaning back, slouching in the chair. If you're sitting on a meditation cushion, you should be in the right position. If you have a meditation cushion, you probably know how to sit the right way. If you're standing, feet are about hip to maybe shoulder width apart. That might be a little bit narrower than you're used to if they're hip width. And you can close your eyes. Take a couple nice deep breaths. And whether you're sitting or standing, see if you can find your center. That's your physical center. It's also your emotional center. So your physical center, you might want to rock back and forth a little bit. Shift the weight between your feet, left to right. Do the same thing forward and back. And get yourself physically centered. And when you're physically centered, you may also find that helps you to be emotionally centered. But we don't want to skip the emotional part of it. And then we'll relax from head to toe. So we'll start with the scalp, softening the scalp. And don't just think about softening the scalp, but see if you can actually soften your scalp. And that softness and relaxation flows down the forehead, into the temples, the back of the head. Soften or loosen the eyebrows. There's a lot of tension in our forehead and eyebrows at times. And let the softness flow into the eyes, into the nose, the cheekbones, the mouth, and especially the jaw. Many of us tend to hold a lot of tension in our jaws. So if you want, you can open your mouth and gently exhale through the mouth. This helps to drop the jaw. It relaxes the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve, as we talked about, transitions us from fight or flight into the parasympathetic or peaceful rest, relax, and restore mode. Transitions us both directions, but right now we want to move into the parasympathetic nervous system. And when you breathe out with a gentle ha sound, like a whispered ha, almost like you're fogging up a mirror, like this. Dropping the jaw and opening the mouth a little bit, like I said, helps us to relax the jaw so that we release tension there. But it also allows us to get a lot of air out at once. In Chinese medicine, the emotions are expressed in the breath. And when you breathe out, you're releasing things that no longer serve you. Releasing things that your body says it's time to get rid of. You can certainly breathe out through your nose, but the air doesn't come out quite as... It doesn't come out in as much volume. There's a little bit of pressure there. The same with pursing your lips and blowing out like you're blowing out birthday candles. You don't want to do that. You want to relax the jaw. Let it hang gently open and breathe out. Breathe in gently through the nose and then out gently through the mouth. Of course, you can close your mouth anytime you need to. For example, to swallow your saliva. But it's a good idea to try to keep that jaw relaxed. So we continue the head to toe relaxation, letting that softness flow down the neck, into the upper shoulders, down the upper back between the shoulder blades. I don't know about you, but I hold a lot of tension there. You can release that tension and let that release flow down the whole spine, down the mid-back, the lower back, and at the same time that you're relaxing your back, also think about decompressing your spine, adding a little bit of space between each of the vertebrae. Let those discs puff up with fluid, lubricate, and relax all the muscles around the spine. And then let's move to the chest. The chest should be relaxed so it's not thrust forward, but it's not collapsed in a slouch, just in a nice central neutral posture. We relax the belly. There's no need to hold it in. You might notice the belly expanding when you inhale and then collapsing back down when you exhale. So you can relax all the muscles around your belly. Then let's move up to the arms. The arms are hanging by your sides, almost like your shoulders are a shirt hanging off of a hanger. And your arms are two sleeves that are just gently draped by your sides. Of course, you can release any kinks along the way if you need to. If you need to roll your shoulders, roll your hands around to release the wrists or wiggle the fingers, but always bring it back to a relaxed state. And then we move to the hips. Relax the hips, front, back, sides, and we move to the upper legs, the thighs, and hamstrings. See if you can relax the muscles in your upper legs and hips and butt. You might be surprised that you can still stand even when you release the tension in the muscles of your legs. Let the softness and relaxation flow down your knees, down your lower legs, the calves and shins, through your ankles. You can roll your ankles if you need to. Down your feet. Move the feet around and wiggle the toes if you need to. And then relax the feet. And then all at once, we're going to relax everything twice as much. We do that with a nice breath out. So on your next out breath, when you breathe out, you're just going to relax everything twice as much. You can do that with a sigh out. So we've been exhaling through our mouth with the gentle. But if you want, you can vocalize a little more. And on your next out breath, Just sigh it out and relax everything twice as much. Good. Focus on your breath. Focus on how good you feel. You should feel nice and relaxed. Maybe at the same time, even energized enough to go about your day. So we'll end things here, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful day.